All right, hi, we're going to do a quick video on chapter 2.4, tangent line of a trig function. All right, here we go. We've got y equals mx plus b. That's the goal. That's the format we're looking for. We're either given y or we have to substitute x into the original function. That's how we find y. When we're looking for m, this is the slope, right? This makes sense. This is the slope, the m. And we'll need to take the first derivative of the function, substitute the x, and then find the value of that m, okay, that slope. So we take the first derivative, we substitute the x back in, we should get a number out or a value. Then x, which is typically given to us. Then we solve for b after we find y, m, and x, unless they're given to us. Okay. Example number 1, here we go. We have the function 2 sine of x plus cosine 2x. So at pi comma 1. So we take, in order to find our m value, we're going to take the first derivative, or f prime of x. And when we do that, the derivative of sine is cosine. The 2 stays constant, plus the derivative of cosine 2x, again, is negative sine times 2x times 2 of the inside piece. Recall that we have to take the derivative of not only the whole thing, but also then of that inside piece. All right, so when we simplify that, we get 2 cosine x minus 2 sine 2x. And now when we plug in pi, we ask ourselves, we say 2 cosine of pi minus 2 sine of 2 pi. Now, what is the cosine of pi? You might want to get your unit circle out. If you recall, pi is to the left, right, in our unit circle at 180 degrees. So we're going in the negative x direction. We're going 1 unit. So 2 times negative 1 minus, what's the sine of 2 pi? Well, 2 pi all the way around the unit circle, we end up at 2 pi, and since we're not going anywhere in the y direction, the sine or the y value is 0, so that goes away. So we end up with just negative 2 as our m value. Now, we're trying to fit this format, y equals mx plus b. We know y is 1, they gave it to us. We know our m value is negative 2, and we know that x is pi. So if we plug them in, we get 1 minus 2 pi plus b. Okay, this is a b. I always put a little line through it, make sure it's not a 6. Okay, so b is equal to 1 plus 2 pi. So therefore, our final equation is y equals negative 2x plus 1 plus 2 pi. All right, ready for the next example. This one, they didn't help us out too much. All they did was they gave us an x value. So f of x is equal to the cosine of 3x. And they just said, well, find it out at x equal pi over 4. Again, here's our format, y equals mx plus b. So we first want to find the y value. So f of pi over 4 is the cosine of 3 pi over 4. Again, your unit circle, where's 3 pi over 4? 3 pi over 4 comes before 4 pi over 4, which is pi. So then we have to come up 45 degrees. That's 3 pi over 4. We're in the negative x direction. If you recall, all pi's over 4 are some version of root 2 over 2. And it's negative in this case because we're in the second quadrant. Then we have to take the derivative of the cosine of 3x. And the derivative of the outside is negative sine of 3x. Take the derivative of the inside, 3x, and that is going to be times 3. And if we then, let's do this over here. So then we have negative 3 sine of 3x. So now we got to do to find our m value is take f prime of pi over 4, negative 3 times the sine of 3 pi over 4. Well, we just said that it's in quadrant 2. So all students, if you recall, sine is positive in quadrant 2, so we get a positive root 2 over 2. So we get negative, because it's a negative 3, negative 3 root 2 over 2. So now we want to solve for b. We have y, negative root 2 over 2, is equal to our x value of pi over 4 times negative 3 root 2 over 2, which was our m, is b. And we put that together. We move this to the other side. We get b is equal to negative root 2 over 2 plus 3 pi root 2 over 8. 2 times 4 is 8. All right, so what we did, our final step here, hopefully you can see this okay, is y equals negative 3 root 2 over 2x plus 3 pi root 2 over 8 minus root 2. So let's see, hope you can see that. Oh no, don't go away. Right there. And try and bring it back there. So y equals negative 3 root 2 times x plus 3 pi root 2 over 8 minus root 2 over 2. And that is your tangent line function. Wasn't that fun? It's a great time. All right. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon.